Recently, a friend of mine was on a trip selling pest control. When knocking a door, he found himself threatened with a call to the police. Was this because he was brandishing a weapon, threatening the owner? Nope. He merely was just trying to sell a service. And little did he know, but this jurisdiction required a different license than the one he already had. He found out that day why his coworker had a mugshot for his profile picture. He merely forgot to carry his license. If you dare try to earn a living without the government's approval, you will be sorry. Government license laws, more accurately called threats, are slavery. When do you have to ask permission to use something? When someone else owns it, of course. Ownership means the right to control. So if you want to use something of someone else's, you have to ask permission so they are still in control of it. Well, then what does it mean if you have to ask permission to act? That the government thinks they own you. Any threat of violence that limits non-aggressive action is an act of slavery. Any statute that the government has which says which voluntary association of people is okay or not is a slave master deciding which of its slaves can do what with the other slaves. This is a moral abomination and makes us poor. Businessmen, as Ayn Rand pointed out, are the most persecuted minority. This fact is beyond dispute. There are not only far more laws that target businessmen than any other group, but entire agencies devoted to doing so. You dare cut someone's hair for money without approval from the government, you are treated as if you are a criminal. A person decides that they are willing to work for less than $7.25 an hour, too bad. The employer is somehow a monster and must be imprisoned. What are the arguments for these restrictions? Licenses require bare minimum standards must be met, that the products are bad, the products are safe. What does every argument for government licensing equate to? You cannot think for yourself. You are a child and must have someone else be responsible for your life. You can't make up your mind for whether or not a product or service is worth it to you. More accurately, some people can't. Some people, I'm told, can't make these decisions. And so we must force all people to limit their actions to what the government approves of. This is what I call the argument from stupid people. We must limit the freedom of those who can think for those who are unable, more likely, unwilling to think. To live as a man is to require thought. Those who refuse to think are suicidal, only living by clinging on to those who do. To refuse to think about the world and apply its implications to one's actions is immoral. Saying, I won't do what my life requires, instead others will do it for me, makes you a bad person. And these are the people we must enslave ourselves in order to protect? The unthinking, immoral parasites? No. People's lack of virtue is no claim on those who do have it. Their choice to be bad does not give them a right to enslave those who are good. If freedom is bad for them, so what? The standard should be the rational, the producers, not the irrational parasites. If certification is a rational thing for a profession to have, you don't have to threaten it into existence. Rational people can create businesses that put their mark of approval on a service. We already do this today. Yelp gives the ability to anyone to make their experience known. Kosher certification is done privately with stricter requirements than the FDA products, being approved according to Jewish law. Movie ratings are done voluntarily as well. Notice what all these have in common? They're peaceful. You read reviews, you check labels, it's all up to you and your thought. You don't have to go in blind, but you are free to make up your own decisions. The man that accosted my friend thought that you can't think for yourself. He thought that people can't think for themselves. We need them to first ask permission from the government. He wants to treat everyone like a child with him as the adult. He knows better than you. Well, he doesn't and he can't. You have to make decisions for yourself. You cannot force happiness. Your choice is the difference. If you cannot be responsible for your life, you cannot be proud of it. But happiness is the emotional response to pride in yourself. If you want to be happy, you must treat licensing laws as the impediment to your life that they are.